Investors are increasingly telling us that they want to own stocks that are socially responsible. There are new European rules coming in that are forcing companies make disclosures based around diversity principles. If this causes investors to start screening stocks on diversity lines in the same way that they currently screen stocks along environmental and sustainability lines, then we may be about to see a flood of new money flow into diversity-based strategies. Investors need to be concerned about this now, because if this new money causes a tipping point into this theme, then we may be on the cusp of seeing a reallocation of capital. There is precedent for this. If we look at the Paris Climate Conference in 2015, we saw that funds allocated to sustainability strategies doubled to about 145 billion euros. Now that compared with a relatively pedestrian growth rate beforehand of 11%. When we look across the market, we can see the size of the opportunity is very large. Now currently there are around 5 trillion euros of funds under management that use norms-based screening methods in one way or another. That's around half the size of the Stoxx 600 and the corporate bond market put together. If we assume that diversity-based investing grows at a similar rate to sustainability investing around the time of the Paris Climate Conference, then we can see these funds growing to about 120 billion euros in 7 years' time. Now that's equivalent to about 1.4% of the Stoxx 600. That sounds like a lot in aggregate, but if we allocate those funds across the Stoxx 600 companies evenly, we could see that immediately they would be the 12th largest shareholder in the average company, and they would be a top 5 shareholder in 1/8 of companies. So imagine if they targeted specific stocks, the effect would be amplified even further. Now investors should be concerned about this because it will have a direct impact on the way companies interact with their markets. Just for example, if a company wishes to raise debt or equity capital, it will find it a lot easier to engage with its investors if it can prove a certain adherence to disclosure and policies around this issue.